Welcome to The Long Game. Today's guest, Ralph Choeff. Ralph and his firm designed David and Victoria Beckham's home that they recently purchased on North Bay Road for $72.3 million. Ralph also designed multiple homes for baseball star and legend A-Rod. One of them was even featured on the cover of Architectural Digest. Enjoy today's episode. We're here with Ralph Choeff. You have an interesting background, Ralph. So you were born in Cuba.
Yes.
Okay. You made a pit stop before moving to America in Miami. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the early days. How did you move to the States and what was it like in the beginning?
Well, I was born in Cuba, in Havana. And of course, we were affected by Fidel Castro and communism. Mm-hmm. So they were offering planes out of the country to Jamaica, to Israel.
What year was this?
1959.
Okay.
And we were given the plane to Israel. I just happened to be Jewish. And I lived in Israel for almost 2 years with my parents in what they call a moshav.
Okay.
And it's communal work. And then we moved to Miami from Israel. And I lived in Miami from about the first grade until the middle of fifth. My father started a men's clothing business with his brother and his father. So we moved to New York, which was culture shock for me.
Yep.
Living in Westchester in Miami. At that time, Westchester was the boonies. Kendall was where you went to shoot rabbits.
Yeah.
And we went to New York. I grew up in New York, again, culture shock. But I grew up in New York, especially in the 70s. Mm-hmm. It was dirty. It was bankrupt. Mm-hmm. It was crime-ridden.
Dangerous back then.
Very dangerous. It was a different movement. It was the days of when Basquiat was Samo. It was the days of graffiti. The neighborhoods that are today very high-end, good neighborhoods, such as Bushwick and Williamsburg and downtown Brooklyn, were all slums.
It was a much different New York than it is today.
A much different New York. It was very dangerous to ride the subway. All the subways were filled with graffiti. It was just Times Square was just awful, where drugs and crime ran rampant. And Billy Joel has a great song about that it happens to be called Miami 2017.
Wow.
And I'm a big Billy Joel fan.
Okay.
And it talks about that era. And he wrote it in 1975. Worth a listen.
Okay.
And then I went to Pratt Institute, stayed in New York to pursue a career in architecture. And
what interested you in architecture?
I don't know. What happened was I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was in my senior year in high school. Mm-hmm. And I started noticing buildings, and I had friends that were going to college for interior design or something in the design field. And I said, you know what, it's starting to interest me. So I got interested in architecture. And the crazy thing is I only applied to one architecture school, and that's after I found out that every college I applied to didn't have architecture.
Okay.
It was a different time when you applied.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I was very, very fortunate to be accepted into Pratt, which was one of the top architecture programs in the country, and loved my years in college and learned quite a bit.
Okay.
And Pratt influenced my architectural style.
And what year did you graduate? And then what was your first job out of Pratt?
Actually, I worked during Pratt.
Okay.
I worked for a firm of 3 architects that were teachers at Pratt School of Architecture, called the Pratt Architectural Collaborative, and it was a block away in a brownstone. And at the time, Pratt was in a really bad neighborhood called Fort Greene, and now it's really nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I used to work there and used to pull all-nighters all the time, and I used to get credits, plus I got paid that went towards my my student loan.
Okay.
So it was fabulous. It was a lot of fun. That was the first firm I ever worked for. I got a lot of experience doing it, loved the hell out of it, and decided to move to Miami right after college. I was offered a job here in Miami with an architectural firm on Miami Beach. took it. Lasted about 3 months until the owner
Yeah.
said, well, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And I moved on and got some other work with other architects.
You got licensed, right, when you moved back?
I actually got licensed 5 years after I moved back.
Okay.
I worked for architects. I got my IDP hours. Then I got licensed in 1983.
And 1983 is when you started your firm.
Yes, I started immediately, actually.
And what kind of designs were you working on back then? Houses, buildings, commercial?
Well, when you start your own firm, you have to do what
It's
you
hard.
have to do. It's
Yeah.
very difficult. So I was doing what we call Bocatecture, which is this fake Spanish architecture. They built all these, or designed all these homes in Boca Raton with. And I did it for many, many people.
Yeah.
And while
You didn't like it. You didn't.
I didn't enjoy the style, I can
Right,
tell you
right.
that.
Your styles have really evolved, and you're at the top now, one of
Right.
the best architects in the world.
Thank you.
But we were talking about this before we started. It was kind of tough back then, and Bocatecture.
Bocatecture.
What a
right?
visual! We're gonna put this up on the screen. Bocatecture. Yeah.
Bocatecture. You got to do what you got to do. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing that for many years. The early years were a tremendous struggle.
Yeah.
I've struggled to get to eventually where I am today.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate and very blessed. Every architect needs their big break. You can be really good and not get your big break and never be known, or you can be not so good but get a big break and be known. I got my big break and I took advantage of it.
You certainly got big breaks, and you're working on world-class homes now, record-breaking homes, really famous. We're going to talk about them.
Right.
What kept you going in those early days when it was tough, and maybe the money wasn't, managing the business?
Oh, the money wasn't there. Believe
Yeah.
me, I was struggling big time. And what kept me going was I always wanted to make it.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be not only a well-known architect, but to make it financially and be able to support my family and such. And that's what really kept me going. And I did love practicing architecture. Even though I wasn't doing in the beginning what I wanted to do, I still loved being an architect.
Yeah.
And I was very proud of it. And yeah, now I'm doing what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when did you move on from Bocatecture to tropical modern architecture? How was that one jump? Was that an evolution?
Well, let me start at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Which is Pratt Institute.
Okay.
And Pratt, since I went in the early 70s to mid to late 70s, every architecture school has their own philosophies. And at that time, it was mid-century modern and modern architecture that Pratt was very heavy on.
Okay.
And that's what I learned. And then you had the architecture right in front of you in New York City.
Yeah.
How fortunate am I to go to a school in New York City and have the architecture I'm studying right in front of me? The Lever House, the Seagram Building, and all those great pieces of architecture of the time. And so that was my influence, and that's what I always wanted to do. So that's where I got to today's tropical modern style, is basically an influence from South American architecture, which is Marcio Kogan and South American architects, which really started that style.
Yeah.
And we just took the basics of mid-century modern and applied it to this type of architecture to come up with tropical modern.
Tropical modern, and we'll put up some of Ralph's homes on the screen so that people can see them. These are incredible. These are truly beautiful resort style for the ultra wealthy here in Miami, South Florida. What neighborhoods did you first start developing in and designing for in Miami in those early years?
Well, in the early years, when we were doing the Bocatecture, it was mostly areas like Eastern Shores, in North Miami Beach, some in Fort Lauderdale. Not much in Miami Beach itself, frankly. And that evolved to Miami Beach when the style changed to modern, and I was basically allowed to do it.
What were the top neighborhoods in those early days? You've been operating for over 40 years. Yeah, because it's much different today.
Wow. Miami Beach was nowhere.
Wow.
I mean, it was nowhere.
Yeah.
The top neighborhoods at the time were Eastern Shores and Boca Raton and, some areas in Fort Lauderdale. I'm sure there were, Coconut Grove was a great area.
Yeah.
And Miami Beach had these old homes.
On
that
Miami Beach.
Unfortunately, a lot of them should have been deemed historic.
Yeah.
But they can't be because they would flood and they would rot and they would fall because of global warming. So now, unfortunately, the people have to tear them down. But Miami has become from a vacation neighborhood where the wealthy used to vacation, and these were their vacation bungalows. It's become a very affluent area that people come to live and work in full time. And this is not a transitional neighborhood anymore. It's a neighborhood where people are moving to and to actually work in.
Right. Miami is attracting the world's wealthiest. We have so many people moving here.
That's not only because of Miami, because Miami is a great place and has beautiful landscape and waterways, but it's also a function of financial needs. Some people don't want to pay a hefty state tax, and that's from New York to California, and California is about to, if they pass it, about to pass and tax the wealthy.
Yep.
They don't want that. And that's what you see moving here now, to get away from all that, plus in an area that is beautiful with water and tremendous access.
Do you feel like this is just a phase? Is this short term? Or do you think long term Miami, South Florida is really benefiting from this wealth migration?
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see how Miami itself can sustain. And it's all about the sustainability and pragmatic approach that Miami takes to all this and what they do with it. Miami can either become the new world order, I mean, in cities, or it can fail.
Yeah.
And that's all up to Miami in the future. See how they've been given this great opportunity. Let's take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The politicians, the government here, really focusing on encouraging business and supporting those who are moving here, rather than repelling capital like they're doing in California, New York,
Right.
Washington.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the design process. I'm really interested in. Someone comes to you, a client comes to you, maybe an agent comes to you, an end user comes to you, a developer comes to you. What does the design process look like from the first meeting, looking at the site, at the land, and then taking them through a design? How long is that process? And your team working on that, what do you guys go through?
Well, the process starts with meeting with the client and getting to know them. I mean, Frank Lloyd Wright, there's a story that he used to live with his clients for 3 to 6 months to see what their lifestyle was like.
Wow.
Well, we don't do that. But we sit down with them and we get to know them and we get to see what they want, whether it's a developer or an end user. And then they come up with a program for the house, and we help them with that program. What do you want in the house? You know, how many bedrooms? What's your most important rooms? Do you want a gym? Do you want a spa? Do you want a theater? All that stuff. And we put together that program, and then we observe the site, and we see where the best views are. And then we take, of course, the codes of that specific area to design to the codes. And we will design a residence based on the program that they want. But we'll design it in the tropical modern style, which brings in the indoors to the outdoors and vice versa. So then we have a lot of water features and cascading water walls and green walls, vegetation. We like to create an experience as if someone is walking into and living in an Aman hotel.
Yeah.
We want that Zen factor, that wellness factor, and I think we're pretty successful with it. So when you're entertaining outside, I know your sliders are open, you feel like you're inside, and again, if you're inside, you feel like you're outside, with these retaining ponds, retention ponds, and reflecting ponds, and cascading water walls, and again, vegetation walls, and trees coming out of the middle of reflecting ponds. So We're creating a mood for them based on their program.
Your designs are so peaceful. I love the water. Of course, you incorporate a lot of water features. I watched a YouTube video that you filmed of a house that you designed in Boca.
Right.
And the garage had a water feature to hide it because the entrance was off to the side.
Right.
When you walk in, it was like floating on stones. There were some sculptures. The backyard had many pools. What was that design process like?
Well, the owners came to us wanting a one-story residence,
Okay.
which I happen to like one-story residences. And I suggested we build it and design it in a pod format, that each pod would have its different uses, and they were organically connected. And we didn't want to show a garage in the house. So you have a guest that comes, they see this beautiful cascading water wall which hides the garage, and the garage is entered through another location.
How many cars fit in that garage, by the way?
8.
8. Okay.
And the reason it's 8, it could be 10, is because there's lifts.
Yeah.
He has a car collection, and he has a beautiful car collection, which is a thing now. We call them, the owners call them car museums.
Car museums.
And we're designing a whole bunch of car museums right now, which I could talk about.
Yeah.
So he showcases the garage with a full glass wall facing the front of the property. So when you pass the house, you see these cars, and then the garage doors are glass. And so you see the cars. And then, of course, the reason, this water wall, and it turns into a reflecting pond that sculptures come out of in the front of the residence. And that's really a great feature. When somebody comes in, it sets the mood. And when they come in, boom, they exposes the outside pools, and there's a pond and a golf course by there.
Yeah.
And the pool itself has a lounge that's a fire pit lounge that is sunken into the pool itself, so the water surrounds it, and when you're sitting in it, it feels like you're sitting inside the water. And then it has all these hot spas and mini reflecting ponds that you have stepping stones to go over, so the water is continuous around. And again, that's just part of the ambiance that we're trying to create, so you feel like you're on vacation.
Yeah.
While you're at the house itself. So
Yeah. Was this their primary residence?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It was.
they have other residences in other places, but this was their primary. Is their primary still.
And what's the time frame from design to construction? And I'm sure there's only a select handful of general contractors that can build these types of homes.
Yes, and the general contractor for this house is phenomenal, and he really understood what was going on, because when they don't, it's very difficult. Homes like this are not easy to build. And so the process to design and to do the construction drawings took just a little bit over a year, maybe a year.
Yeah.
And the construction took about 2 years.
Can you say what your fee was? How much it costs?
It costs...
To hire Ralph's firm to design for the world's billionaires, the world's wealthiest. What kind of fee are we looking at?
Well, the house was 14,000 square feet.
Okay.
I can tell you that the fee was in the high six figures.
Okay.
That's all I can...
Yeah. Okay. That's
middle to high six figures.
That's reasonable to have a home like this.
Right.
It's that is certainly worth it, and you created value for them.
Yeah, and great owners, by the way. The owners were phenomenal the whole way.
Amazing.
Amazing owners. You don't get that all the time, but these people were fantastic.
That's great. Yeah. Sometimes you hear difficult owners, difficult
fantastic, and they let me do my thing, and they had great input. So, yeah.
Let's talk about home technology. And how has that evolved over the years? What are some of the gadgets that you put into these homes? Because people want one touch, they want ease, they want things at their fingertips.
Well, technology is interesting because it doesn't only involve the inside; it involves the outside too. Mm-hmm. Architecture has evolved because of the new technology. We now can do sliding glass doors that are 12, 13 feet high, 6 feet wide. big, huge openings. That wasn't allowed when we first got this code because we had to worry about hurricanes. And the doors were 8 feet high. Then they went to 9 feet high. Then they went to 10 feet high. So that has changed the scale of the architecture. We still design to the mid-century concepts with the materials involved, but now instead of these lineal homes, they've become a little bit higher and bulkier.
Yeah.
Because that's what people want.
That's what.
That's what people want. So that's important. So now the entire home becomes the technology.
Yeah.
With a touch of a button, where you are, with an iPad in front of you, or even just your phone, you can control the entire residence from wherever you are in the world. You could put your fireplace on. You could change the air conditioning. You could put all your lights on. You could put the alarm on.
Yeah.
You could turn the water features on and off. The pool. You can start heating the pool. Then you're in a movie theater and you can put on the movie even before you go on into the theater. You control all the music. I've went through a whole bunch of stuff here.
Yeah. The blinds, the shades,
everything.
Everything.
Everything is at your fingertips now.
Are you doing much health and wellness, longevity type implementations? Are they designing that, or is that an after the fact, after they design the home or they move in? Are people putting red light saunas? Are they putting hyperbaric chambers? Maybe some lap pools?
Well, they're thinking about it before they move in.
Yeah.
So when they give us the mandate for what the residence should be, they're telling us already.
Yeah.
Hey, I would like a lap lane in the pool. It's got to be a minimum of 70 feet. Or I want circadian lights.
Circadian lights.
Yeah, circadian lights to go on and off, and at certain times. And at sundown, this is what I want to happen. At sunrise, this is what I want to happen. Air freshening systems, or air purifying systems, I should
that's really
say.
Important.
Which is important. Red light saunas all the time now.
Yeah.
Forget about the old time saunas. Red light saunas are the thing. And then steam rooms, cold plunges, very big.
Yeah.
Very big cold plunges, hot spas. You name it.
Yeah.
I mean,
in-home gyms, of course.
Gym.
Yeah.
With full, if they have this room, full spa. Hot, which is sauna, steam room, massage room, gym, cold plunge, all that. Everything that's in a gym, this is, even a hairstyling room. For hairstyling, their groomer comes in, and they wash and style their hair right there.
And Ralph, you're designing homes all over the world. We were just talking about you're doing something in the Middle East. Where else are you designing? What other countries have you designed really incredible homes?
We've designed in India, in New Delhi. We've designed in Panama. We've designed in the Bahamas. Where else have we designed? As far as countries are concerned, we've gotten a lot of inquiries from different countries.
Yeah.
Do they want to pay the fee, or do they not want to pay the fee? And that's what the whole thing's all about.
Yeah. No, a lot of times it comes down.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a very serious buyer and somebody that's that really wants it, they will go all the way. Sometimes it's people that just saw your product and they really don't know what the cost of construction or the cost of an architect should be, and that's where they get sticker shock.
Today, what is the cost of construction? Just hard costs for
in Miami, it starts at $1,000 a square foot. We've done homes as high as $2,500 a square foot. So yeah, it depends on the final finishes, materials,
the customization.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And Ralph, how much of the homes that you do are for end users, and how much are for spec developers?
I would have to say these days about 75% end users and 25% spec developers.
25% spec
Yeah.
developers. And you've worked on some famous homes. One of them was for an end user on North Bay Road.
Right.
You designed a home that ultimately David Beckham and Victoria Beckham
Right.
purchased for $72.5 million.
Right.
Let's talk about what was that process like designing that home originally, and how did that deal come about?
So the Beckhams were not the original clients for the house. We had a client for the house, him and his wife. They were very specific on what kind of home they wanted. And we designed it for them, and they went under construction, and the home was beautiful.
What year was this?
Oh, I would have to say about 5-6 years ago, maybe,
Okay. Yeah.
maybe around that time.
Yeah.
And we started, and we designed the home, and then went under construction. It was about 80% complete with the construction. The wife decides she no longer wants to live on Miami Beach, but wants to live in Palm Beach. So now the owner says to me, I got to sell the home. I think I want to put it up for $80 million.
Was there like, did the husband put up a fight? Was he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did privately, I don't know.
Yeah,
but he didn't. And so they put the house up for sale for $80 million. And lo and behold,
and you didn't think they could get that price?
I never thought it.
Yeah.
And David and Victoria Beckham bought the residence itself, and $72.5 million. And I was in shock.
Yeah.
Well, they set how do they pay that much money for a house there? They set the standard.
Yeah.
Now the homes are going on Miami Beach for over $100 million because of the Beckhams and because of the house we designed.
Yeah.
So, and it was in a tropical modern style. It has this huge atrium when you walk in with a reflecting pond and a green wall and
on the water. Wall. Yeah, on the water on North Bay Road.
On the water in North Bay Road, a pool that simulates a lagoon with vanishing edges, and it's dark. And the house itself revolves around this atrium, which is very cool because the house is very bright at all times.
Wow.
So yeah.
So great natural light.
Yeah.
On the water.
And he loves the house. He says the house. He told me that the house was perfect. That's the word he used. It's perfect. I go, nothing, just perfect, Ralph. Perfect.
David Beckham. Yeah.
He told me that he was perfect.
What an amazing compliment.
Yeah, and he's a great guy.
North Bay Road has really become Billionaires Road now. We had Dina on maybe a couple months ago, and the entry point now to buy these homes on North Bay Road and some of these neighborhoods is $100 million just for the land.
All because of that house.
So that was your design.
That was our design in Choeff, Levy, Fischman.
And you've designed for other famous people. You famously designed for Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod.
Right.
How did that come about, and what was that process like?
A developer brought A-Rod to me for his first house on North Bay Road. We designed this 20,000 square foot home with a batting cage in it. Really unusual design. And it got a lot of notoriety on Miami Beach. And it was a beautiful home. Alex loved it. He had great Art Basel parties in it, entertained quite a bit in it. And he got an interesting offer for double, at the time, what he paid for the house, including construction. So he sold the house, and he bought this property on Ponce Davis, between Coconut Grove, Coral Gables area, and it was an interior property. And one of the things that made him sell the house was because this house on North Bay Road was on the wide bay, and he had a lot of paparazzi and boats coming, so he never could get his privacy.
Yeah.
And he's dated some very well-known women.
Yes.
And so they couldn't get their privacy.
Yeah.
So he moved to this house that we designed for him, and again, one story in a very pod.
I want to say something. So we just talked about two houses on North Bay Road.
Right.
So we develop on the water. Waterfront in Miami, South Florida is going up at astronomical rate. So Alex bought this home, built something, and he got offered 2x what he put into it. That just shows the strength of waterfront, of the quality of that kind of investment. how durable and compounding that growth is.
Yeah, and the recent sale, they renovated the house totally.
Yeah.
The new owners, they just bought the house, and I think it went for 3.5x,
3.5.
maybe 4x the cost of the original house. That house just started everything, and the market was just starting to wake up, and that was 2010.
Wow.
So the market was just starting to wake up at the time. That's only 16 years ago.
Yeah, that's not long ago.
Right.
And so fast forward to his next house, Coral Gables, incredible. It's been in Architectural Digest.
Made the cover of Architectural Digest.
The cover of Architectural Digest. What does that house look like? Walk us through that design process. It's a beautiful home.
He wanted to go a little bit different in this house, where he wanted all white finishes in the original house in Miami Beach. This one, he wanted a very Tom Ford, kind of dark, with a very light outside. So a white, off-white, using exposed concrete as well, and some ebonized wood. That was the thinking. Now, the whole concept was still the same. Vast sliders, open up, bring the outside in, inside out. And that house is made for it, because it's a one-story house. So it's perfectly made for it, with a great pool in the back, with hot spa, a great gazebo area where he barbecues and serves a lot of people. And then, of course, the master is located in one area, the other bedrooms in the other area, then the kitchen and family room in another area. So everything is itemized or compartmentalized.
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 We got it.
So it works that way, and each area has its own use. It works just great.
It's a sprawling property.
Yeah, it's a sprawling 63,000 square foot property.
Yeah, it's really.
It's a pretty big piece of property, and it's a great house.
And the cover of Architectural Digest, that must have got you a lot of leads, a lot of new clients. And
I don't know
interest,
that.
notoriety.
I don't know that the cover itself got me the clients or got us the clients. I think that people see it online and remember our name and then call us because of it. Also, it gets so much publicity that you're basically, the people are drawn to call you and to find out about it. And we did get a couple of clients from it. Publication gets you, and with these days on the internet, the stamp of approval. And if you chat GPT somebody, if you have that kind of notoriety, you'll be on their chat GPT. And that's how we get our clients, basically, from notoriety and word of mouth.
When did that start? Ralph, you and I, we were just talking about the age of influencers.
Yeah.
We're in the age of influencers, and it's fascinating. We're here doing a podcast. There's millions of people that watch podcasts around the world. There's people who are running their businesses, going on their phone, social media, putting it out on Instagram, on TikTok, and these different platforms. So when did you start getting marketing, really notoriety and press?
All right. Great story. We've been getting press even when we were doing the Boca-Texture homes.
Okay.
I just pounded myself out there, and people started discovering, but I never really had a name. And then after the first A-Rod house and a couple of modern homes I've done on Miami Beach, publications would start calling me and wanting to write stories. And that's when my name started going out. Then, many years ago, I became partners with Paul Fischman, who joined Raphael Levy and myself. And he basically was the start of all the big publicity we're getting, because he got us together with a marketing and a public relations firm, and they put our name out there.
Yeah.
And that's when it all began to really, the dam broke at that point.
So marketing was really important. And then when Mr. Fischman joined and you guys added marketing, your properties and your designs speak for themselves.
Right.
So combine that with the marketing engine, and that really took you to another level.
Yeah, 100%.
Took you to another level. And I've watched some of your podcast interviews beforehand. You know, we all go through ups and downs and challenges. You've had a long career. You're at the top of the game now. What were some of the challenges along the way?
Miami was not as sophisticated a market as New York or California.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get the fees that really were proper fees for homes like this. We were also, in the beginning, held back by a lot of the codes until the people that write the code started realizing, hey, you know, this is the direction that architecture is taking these days, and started changing them. So it was the fees, it was the codes, the type of clientele that we had. They were, you know, it held us back just a bit.
Yeah, Miami hasn't always been at the level
No.
star power that it is today.
No, completely different. Completely different.
Completely different.
Completely different.
So really, being able to command the value that you deserved, fee wise, the code, Miami Beach's code is still, you know, can be difficult to work within.
Very.
Very, very. You said it. You said it. What are some exciting homes and projects that you're working on today?
We are doing a paid competition for I can't tell you how big, but it is beyond your wildest dreams.
Wow.
Residents in United Arab Emirates.
Yep.
So we're doing that. We're doing another.
Do you know who you're competing against?
I'm competing against two other architects, of which one of them is from Los Angeles and happens to be a close friend of mine.
Okay.
And he's an excellent architect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So our competition is good, and so if we get it, we're worthy of it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the third architect is.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
think they're from Europe or something.
UAE and where else are you focused today?
We're doing some homes on Miami Beach, which are quite large these days. One of them is 30,000 square feet. Our homes, which used to be between 5,000 and 7,000 square feet these days, are 15,000 to 20,000 square feet. It's just a different buyer that we have. Yes, we still have our share of 5 to 7,000 square foot homes, but the volume of these bigger residences is flabbergasting, even to me.
Yeah. We have Mark Zuckerberg just bought here, Larry Page just bought here. We have the Indian Creek phenomena right now, Bezos.
We finished some work on Indian Creek recently. I cannot tell you who.
Okay. What's the most expensive home that you've ever designed? Maybe it was Beckham's. We'll give you time to think about it.
That's a great question. I can tell you there are homes we've designed that would go for a lot more money than Beckham. The highest price paid for a home we've designed is Beckham, $72.5 million.
Yeah.
But there are homes that we've designed that are up that can fetch a lot more
Over
money.
$100 million.
Oh, yeah, easy.
What neighborhoods?
Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Basically, mostly. There is a house we designed in Manalapan
Yeah.
that is for sale for the highest price of any real estate in the United States, which is $285 million.
Okay.
And it is in Manalapan here and just south of Palm Beach.
Was this a developer or
It's for a
end user?
developer.
Yeah.
The house is not constructed, but all the renderings are finished. The house has been published throughout the world. We've gotten a lot of publicity in Europe and the United States as well. It's 50,000 square feet. It has a shooting gallery. It has and I'm against guns, believe me. It has a shooting gallery. It has a bowling alley. It's just opulent. Wine room, cigar rooms. Beautiful, beautiful home. It has a car museum for about 20, 30 cars on an underlevel that has all glass that faces the intercoastal. So if you're passing by boat, you see a car museum. And then it has a pool that is all acrylic 80 feet long that faces the Intercoastal as well, above the car museum.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a really cool house, and you're welcome to show it if you
Yeah.
want to.
So this is waterfront, beachfront?
It is beach and waterfront.
Beach and
It's
waterfront.
it's one of those lots that has it's divided by A1A,
Yeah.
so that you have a beachfront side, which we were allowed to do a cabana house on. It was a nice size.
Yeah.
And then the main house is between US 1, which and the Intercoastal Waterway. So you have views of the Intercoastal, and you have a tunnel that leads you from the house to the beach side.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dream.
I hope somebody buys it.
That would be amazing.
That's the most expensive house we've done. How's that?
That's great. And the numbers are only going to keep going up. Larry Ellison, he bought something in Manalapan.
This property is right next to Larry Ellison.
Right next to it. So,
Right next door to Larry Ellison.
So tech billionaires getting ready to leave California, New York, hedge fund billionaires. If you're looking to live next door to Larry Ellison, call Ralph.
Call me, and
Call
I'll
his
put you in
developer.
touch with the developers.
Amazing. That
Yeah.
would be incredible.
Right.
How did your firm? So you started out on your own. How did your firm come about, partner wise, and how do you guys manage and operate the firm today?
Well, it's a long story, but I was always a sole practitioner, and then when the workload became so heavy that it was very hard for me to handle myself, we got two partners, Raphael Levy and Paul Fischman. They came in about a year or two apart. Each of us contributes something different to the firm, but we all have the same exact design philosophy. So we meld where that's concerned. Either of us can work on the other's homes and come up with a similar or same product. But each of us has our strengths. And those are what's utilized in the firm right now.
How long have you guys been together?
I think about 15 plus years.
15 plus years.
15 plus years, yeah. It works.
That's great. And what advice do you have for people starting out in their career in the real estate industry, in architecture out there, to help them get to one day your level? What does it take?
First thing it takes is a lot of commitment and
Yeah.
perseverance, because if you go to architecture school, you're going to pull a lot of all-nighters. Architecture school, the program is very difficult. It's a 5-year accredited program, or 4 years non-accredited plus 2 years master's. And then you have an exam, which is very tough, and then you have to put in your IDP, intern development program hours. And so that part of it is very difficult. Then you're going to start working as an underling with a firm, and everything that you've learned in architecture school, well, you're going to be doing not that. You may be doing renderings, you may be doing, you have to become very proficient in order to get a good job in graphics.
Yeah.
Rendering programs and CAD and Revit. And then you have to really practice it. You're going to work for a firm. Hopefully you can move up in that firm. It takes a certain stomach and character to open up your own firm, and that's going to come many, many years later. Don't do it like I did.
Yeah.
I did it a little early, but it worked out. So learn business.
Get experience first. Learn business.
Learn business, very important. Most architects don't know about business. Learn business and what it takes to operate a firm, and the financial ramifications and different things you have to do. And eventually, if you open up your own firm, it takes a lot of pounding the streets and trying to get those clients. And you may get one. And it takes, like I said, it takes a lot of luck. And I've been blessed with that luck.
Ralph, you've worked very hard. You've been committed. You've pushed through. You're at the top of the game. You're one of the best architects in the world. Congrats. It's great to have you on the long game. Ralph, where can people find you online? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Our website is CLF plural with an S.com.
We'll put it up on the screen.
And I'm personally at Choeff at clfarchitects.com, CHOEFF as in Frank. You could also you could reach us through me right now. I'm not familiar with everybody's what do you call it, internet handles. So I'm sorry about that, but I give you
Social
mine.
media and different.
You could use mine. You could look us up on Instagram. You know, you can friend me at Ralph Choeff on Instagram personally, or CLF Architects on Instagram. And those are the ways to reach us and see what we do.
Ralph, thanks for being on The Long Game.
I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you.